realize we are life itself, then nothing happens. We see that nothing is ever happening because the memory keeps changing all the time. I am awareness, and this keeps going around and around and around. Death, life, experience, this and that. But everything is one. Another beautiful thing about oneness too is that whatever you feel is a feeling. If we make it wrong, we suffer. If we make it right, then we also suffer. Because right creates a wrong. You see what I mean? So whatever you make it, it becomes your suffering. Whatever definition you give to any experience, that very definition will be your undoing. But if you see it as is, as just what is, that is your liberation. You see, that's come back to oneness now, okay? So now we're saying that the fear of emptiness is the attachment to memory. You think you are memory. I am this body, I am this name that I was given at birth. I am my background, I am my experience, I am this, I am that. That doesn't mean you're not, but that's just like your clothes, you see? You know. So your attachment to that makes you totally forget who you are. That's called suffering. That is called pain. And that creates a fear of emptiness, because emptiness is awareness itself. Awareness, aware space. You are aware right now. That has no memory, that has no substance, that has no... It's invisible. You see, it's a mystery. You see, it is God looking through your eyes. That's the emptiness. You see? So what is the nature of emptiness then? If we really go into emptiness, what is emptiness itself? Emptiness means that the real life is without a quality. That is so beautiful. It has no quality. You know what it means to have no quality? Okay, for example, take love. We often think of love as emotional love. Owning someone. Possessing. You're my husband, you're my wife, you're my friend. My, I, me, all the time, you see? Whereas the real love is there's love. Not me loving you, you loving me, there's love. Love is. Now that is beyond opposites. And therefore it's not a quality. Therefore it's not an emotion. Therefore it's not a thought. It is not something. It is. You see? You know, another thing that I know I mentioned Course in Miracles quite a bit, but what really I loved about the Course was the first statement I read in it, and it said, God is. I thought, wow. Helen Schuckman, who was the scribe of the Course, and it was written through her, and she had a dream. And the scroll predicted what's going to happen in the future, what happens in the past, and she says you can understand everything. And the dream said, but you choose. Now in the middle there's the words God is. What do you choose? And she chose God is. And then that meant she was ready now to transcribe. Okay. Now the point I'm trying to make is that that God is cannot be understood. It's a mystery. Now when we replace the word God with love, okay, we can replace the word God with emptiness. That's what Buddha did. Replace the word God with, you know, with essence, with oneness, with just what is. You see? I have a few questions here. And I would love it if we all experience them together, okay? The first one is, did you ever wish to get rid of your ego that blocks oneness? Now, if you have, of course we already discussed it more or less. If we have, of course, let's discuss it, okay? And because when you discuss it and you go into it, there's a whole new way of looking and seeing it. Let's discuss how you try to get rid of your ego, or wanted to.
Escaping in some way.
Okay. Give us an example.
I leave Montreal to escape a situation. I come here, I'm escaping another situation, and I see a connection as an escape my whole life from the time that I can remember from 5 years old, and all along it's been an escape to away from suffering.
That's
and
right.
I have to end and say, okay, I make a decision. I will not run away from suffering anymore.
Okay. Now, I want you to listen to that, please. This is very, very important, okay? When you say, from now on, I'm not going to escape anymore, so I to end suffering. Does that work? Does it really work? When you make, let's assume that escape becomes our pattern. Most people escape. Everybody escapes. Nobody wants pain. And everybody wants joy, which of course is guaranteed that you won't have joy. You see? Because there's no oneness there. But anyway, let's assume you're escaping pain, discomfort, things you don't like, things you don't want to face. People, situations, experiences, it doesn't matter. You're escaping. Everybody's escaping. And then you cut yourself and say, no, I'm not going to escape anymore. This is it. This is enough. Does it work?
So what I did was I took the question that you used last week,
Mm-hmm.
which was, what is it that you really, really want?
Ah,
And then I
that's
said,
good.
freedom.
Yes.
I want freedom. Then freedom from what? And I followed that through to freedom can never be possible unless I am living in the here and the now. Here, now. If I can't stay in the present moment, then
That's
I
beautiful.
am not going to be free ever.
That's beautiful. Now, if you say, I'm not going to run away anymore, chances are, great chances, you're going to do it again. Because you see, the moment you promise something to yourself, it is the ego placating the ego, compromising itself with the ego. You see, the two are trying to make an agreement, which of course doesn't work, because the ego, the nature of the ego is to escape. You see, and even escape itself. However, what you did was so beautiful. You see, you went back and asked, what do I really want? And then to investigate that and go to the source of it. And when you go to the source of it, you activate the heart, not your mind. Because no matter what you want with your mind, it is always that which is deeper than the mind. You see? Some people say, I want a beautiful home. Why? Because in it, there's going to be warmth and security. So what you want is warmth and security. Now, what is warmth and security? You see? And as you go and explore it more and more, you go back to that which is qualityless. That which has no quality. The moment you hit upon that which has no quality, and you actually say, my goodness, this is what I'm looking for. But this is within me, because we can seek security in any experience. It will never give you security, because you're going to lose it at some point or another. But the inner security of knowing of your eternal nature, which is the is, that can never be lost. That is the highest security. You see? So that's beautiful. That's you're doing that exploration. Okay. So we often want to get rid of our ego. And when we talk about ego, we see it as a bad guy. We see it as a bad thing. If you see it as a bad thing, where's the danger there? Because you made it into a thing. You made it into a reality. But if you investigate, if you try to see where the ego is, you won't find it. Where is the ego? It is a memory. It is nothing more than resistance, because you want to stick to what is familiar. We want what is familiar to us. And so we resist anything that is unknown, which of course the mind cannot be familiar with, because it's memory. Yeah.